This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska.
Will be Mike Eilers, and doing the bases, John Hughes and Chad Cotto.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Hartington, Nebraska for this evening's presentation of high school athletics on News Channel Nebraska. American Legion baseball tonight, and we have a championship in Area C1. We're getting ready for Hartington against Ponca. We could have two games today if Ponca wins the first one. If Hartington gets the win, then they would head to the state tournament in Syracuse. Tonight's action is presented by Tradewind Energy. For landowners interested in hosting a wind turbine, this doesn't mean giving up a lot of land. A wind turbine and its access drive will only occupy about 1/2 of an acre, leaving the rest of the land usable for world-class northeast Nebraska farming. To learn more about hosting a wind turbine, email haystack@tradewindenergy.com. Well, now it's time for your pregame show, brought to you by Norfolk Auto Center, Northeast Nebraska's volume leader, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. Well, the home team this evening is Ponca, and the visitors, even though they are at their home field, is Hartington, and this is the Area C1 Championship. Hartington entered this tournament as the number 2 seed, and Ponca as the number 4. Ponca's taken the hard route to get to this point, losing in their first game to Crofton. They've fought their way through the losers bracket to get to this point. Hartington able to make it undefeated to this championship evening. Well, as we get ready for baseball, we'll take a short break. We have first pitch when we return on News Channel Nebraska.
It's time again for another edition of Sports Insider, brought to you by Faith Regional Health Services. I'm News Channel Nebraska's Chris Whitney, and joining me today is Russ Baumert, physical therapist with Faith Regional Rehabilitation Therapies. Thank you so much for joining us, Russ.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about ACL injuries just a little bit. There are differences in ACL injuries. What are the ways in which an athlete, or anybody else for that matter, can rupture their ACL?
Well, we basically categorize ACL injuries into two categories. We have contact injuries and non-contact injuries. Your contact injury is when you get run into, rolled over, stepped on, as a result of an external force. The non-contact injury is usually a result of cutting or jumping. You see this often where someone is running, they plant their leg goes one way, and their body goes the other. Everyone kind of winces. They see that happening. You also see that when we jump and the knee kind of buckles in.
Is there one type that's maybe a little bit more common than the other one in terms of ACL injuries?
They're kind of sports specific as far as the rates of the two categories. Basketball injuries, non-contact injuries are more common. When you get to more contact sports such as soccer and football, it starts to turn the tide where you have more contact type injuries.
Now, this is, of course, a very serious injury, at least it can be for athletes, certainly. Is there anything athletes can do to help prevent some of these ACL injuries?
Well, we can never eliminate the risk of an ACL injury. However, we can reduce it substantially. For non-contact injuries, the literature has shown that doing balance training, jump training, and specifically looking at some of the muscles in the hip can try to control that leg when it hits the ground so that it doesn't buckle or collapse on a person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, if somebody's interested in finding out maybe a little bit more information on this, I understand you've got a sports metrics program. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that?
Yes, the athletic trainers at our hospital during the summertime run programs in the schools. It's known as sports metrics. It's a jumping program. It's meant to teach balance and strength and coordination. It's mostly geared towards females, as non-contact injuries, ACL injuries, are more common in the female population.
Absolutely, and again, you said this is kind of a 6-week program that is designed to address those issues. If anybody has any more information, who else can they contact?
Well, they can contact our department at Faith Regional Rehab Services.
Absolutely, sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us. Russ Baumert, physical therapist with Faith Regional Rehabilitation Therapies. Thanks, Russ.
Thanks for having me.
This has been another edition of Sports Insider, brought to you by Faith Regional Health Services.
Well, welcome back to Hartington. Just underway, a tad early here, getting some American Legion baseball action. The winner heads on to the state championship tournament in Syracuse. To update you on what we've seen so far, Brady Steffen, a single up the middle for Hartington and then stealing second base. That's where he stands right now. Chase Lammers at the plate facing a 1-2 count. Runner takes off towards third. The throw is a little bit wide of the bag, and another stolen base for Steffen. But that was a strikeout of Lammers. So a runner on third with one down. We're just underway in the top of the first inning. It's time to enjoy the game thanks to United Healthcare.
That was a good job by Brady. He stole both of those bases on the pitcher. A little slow to home plate.
The new batter is Seth Wiebelhaus. Well, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Michael Shively, joined by Mike Johnson here in the booth, and a lovely evening for baseball. It's another strike right down the heart. The pitcher, Michael Logue, on the mound, a right-hander for Ponca. Happy you could join us here on News Channel Nebraska. Little upstairs. As always, you can join in on the conversation online. You can also watch us at ncnsportsnow.com. To find us on Twitter, it's at @NCNSports. As always, include the hashtag NebPreps. They're low and away. And a hitter's count for the big righty, Seth Wiebelhaus. Early chance here for Hartington with Steffen at third base. Singled it right back up the middle. And that's where this heads, but a nice snare by the pitcher. Goes to first for one, but coming in to score is Steffen, and it's 1-0 Hartington on the comebacker to the pitcher.
Now batting the shortstop, number 1, Dane.
Fielder's choice off of the bat of Wiebelhaus.
I'm getting such a glare off
And-
this viewfinder. Can you?
And thrown right back to the plate by the first baseman.
The pitcher did a good job, made a nice play there. He just didn't check the runner at third long enough, which allowed him to score.
Steffen aggressive on the bases. He's got a little speed to him.
Yeah, he's a pretty quick kid. He's a really good basketball player at Cedar Catholic as well.
Dane Whitmire, the shortstop, in the right-handed batter's box now. His team owning an early lead, and that's not a feeling that Hartington had yesterday, falling far behind 8-2 against Creighton at one point, but able to climb their way back and eventually get a 10-9 victory.
That was a heck of a game last night. He had some timely hits, a couple of walks, and somehow they pulled it out. They played really well after about the third inning.
So as a coach, you say after that, I love the fight in my guys, but let's get ahead first next time, and they follow through in the first inning here tonight.
Exactly.
Outside corner strike by Logue. Up the middle is where the Hartington players have looked so far. Steffen managed his single there. Wiebelhaus had a hard hit ball go that direction, but snared by the pitcher. As far as the dimensions of the ballpark, 320 to left. Doesn't get too deep in center, just 350, 330 down the right side. This is where the foul ball heads on the right side. Second baseman retreats, and there's Kneifel to snag it out number 3.
For Hartington, there was 1 hit.
And that will do it for the top of the first inning. 1-0 to score. Hartington on top on News Channel Nebraska.
Determination, hard work, patience, and persistence. These are characteristics that make a champion. These same characteristics make a great Nebraskan.
Midwest Bank proudly supports and congratulates the athletes that have accomplished the honor to compete in the state track meet.
We are also there for the Nebraskans that have fought the flood, cleaned up after the devastation, and answered the call when others were in need.
Communities coming together.
Athletes giving it all.
That is Nebraska strong.
You can always bank on Nebraskans.
Welcome back here in Hartington. 1-0 the score. Hartington on top. Ponca getting their first trip to the plate this half inning. We want to tell you about our friends at Korth Feedlots and Northeast Nebraska Feeders of Randolph. Nebraska Strong, supporters of area athletics and academics. Michael Shively joined by Mike Johnson for tonight's game, or possibly games, to set you up on how this bracket looks. Hartington able to make it through unscathed to get to this championship game. And double elimination tournament, they have to lose twice at this point. Ponca has had a harder road to get here, but to make it through the losers bracket is impressive.
Yeah, it is. They played a really hard-fought game the other day to get this position. They got a nice team.
Looking at how Ponca did it, first was that loss to Crofton, then able to beat Creighton, who made it to the semifinals, and then Laurel Concord Coleridge to make their way up to this game against Hartington. For Hartington, taking care of business against Randolph in the opener of the tournament, and then against Crofton, and last night against Creighton. On the mound for Hartington now is Sam Filemeyer, and he'll go against Kneifel, Fox, and McGill to begin this Ponca side.
And Brandon Kneifel's another kid that's got really good speed for Ponca, so he gets on the bases, look for him to try to steal one.
Kneifel, the leadoff man, playing second base. Looking to replicate what the leadoff man for Hartington did. Steffen slapped it up the gut for a single. First pitch misses the zone for a ball. Well, both teams wearing blue, a slightly darker shade for Hartington. Always an adjustment when you get to the Legion level. You can have whatever color you want. It's not whatever your high school colors are. And not a huge mix here in terms of players from different high schools on this Hartington team, but you do have both public and Cedar Catholic represented.
Yeah, both schools are represented on this team.
3-1 count has developed against the leadoff man, Kneifel. Warm this evening in Hartington, but not like the scorchers in the middle of last week. 80 degrees, the first pitch temperature. Up the middle, does it sneak through? The second baseman snares it, but holds on to it, and there's a single for Kneifel. He begins the half inning just like Steffen did earlier.
It's a good job of cutting the ball off and not allowing it into the outfield, and it's an even better play not throwing it because really had no chance to get him.
And that brings up right fielder Carson Fox. Well, 80 degrees, but I will tell you it feels much warmer than that. The sun definitely bearing right down on us here in Hartington. Not much wind to really tell you about. At least right now it won't be affecting play at all. Partly cloudy sky. The sun could cause some challenges. That one runs way inside and plugs Fox. Kneifel was taking off with a pitch. Now the first two batters reach for Ponca.
I don't know if they had a straight steal on there or a hit and run, but no matter what they had, he still got the second, and the batter did a good job of staying in there and taking one for the team.
With two aboard, Gage McGill comes up. He's catcher. This Ponca team led by a trio of coaches, Reed McGill, Clint Fox, and Blaine Bennett. Way inside again.
Sam's a little wild to start the game. He's got to find his control a little bit and hopefully he can get out of this inning.
Bouncing ball outside, heading towards third, Kneifel, and he gets in safely. On the throw to second, or rather on the throw to third, Fox scoots ahead 90 feet as well, so now two runners in scoring position. You called that, Mike. Aggression on the bases to be expected with Kneifel out there. He had a deep secondary lead, and when the ball bounced, he decided to go.
Yeah, it was a pretty impressive secondary lead by him. Did a good job of reading the pitch. The ball didn't get very far away from the catcher, but it was far enough that he could get to third on the wild pitch.
High and in, and now a 3-1 count. One more out of the strike zone, and the bases would be juiced with nobody down. And that is the case after the first walk of the game is issued. Evan Anderson, the cleanup hitter and shortstop, gets ready to come to the plate, and out to the mound heads a Hartington coach to talk things over with his pitcher and infield.
Yeah, the pitching coach, Aaron Steffen's, coming out to talk to Sam here.
And as they converse, we'll tell you about First State Bank. At First State Bank of Randolph, check them out at fsbrandolph.bank or stop by the bank and visit with their friendly staff in downtown Randolph. They want to be your bank. Member FDIC.
Now batting for Ponca,
I'm going to guess that Evan's going to be looking first ball fastball about thigh high.
Winds up chest high and a ball.
And I think he's going to be sitting until he gets that pitch he wants to hit.
After a hit by pitch and a walk, you wait to see one you like. Tried to pull it, just got a tip. 1-1 count.
Ball might have been a little in off the plate.
As far as the infield alignments, first and third basemen are each playing about even with the bag, maybe a hair in front. That one just misses, and it's 2-1. And that way inside, and Anderson able to take one for the team again, and that sends in Kneifel to tie the score at 1 apiece. The first four to the plate for Ponca all reach base. Hunter Volkert gets to try his hand now.
Yeah, an infield single, a hit by pitch, a walk, and another hit by pitch, and leads to a run. So, need to find the strike zone here.
And shaking his head on the mound, Foulmeyer knows that he doesn't have it right now. He needs to find a way to fight through it. Gets the high fastball past him that time.
Again, that's a situation as a hitter. You need to be looking in a particular spot and just try to hit that pitch. If it's not exactly where you want it, just take it.
Because so far the odds are if you take your way through, you will wind up on base.
Yes. And then his pitches are piling up too if you're not swinging at stuff out of the strike zone.
And in the American Legion rulebook now, there are strict pitch limits. So it depends on when the last time you threw was, but the hard limit is 105. Ground ball, third base. There is a play at home with the force on, but the catch not made. One run in, now a second coming in, and 2 runs score. Ponca ahead 3-1.
That was a good read by Gage McGill to score from second on that. It was, softly hit grounder to the third baseman, just didn't make a very good throw. Got away from the catcher, and he went all the way around from second base to score.
Well, because the ball got past Steffen, the catcher, that allowed that run. The throw was on time. It was a tough play to make, but it was low and in on the near the right-handed batter's box, and not where it needs to be when you have a sliding runner coming in.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a force play, so you just make a solid throw, and you might have been able to get a double play out of it.
Instead, 2 runs come in on the grounder to third base, and now we'll see a new pitcher.
The new pitcher's Ted Bankston. He was at second.
So Bankston moving from second to the mound. Fox and McGill were the 2 runners to plate. Anderson moved all the way up to third base there. So 2 aboard for Bubba Cabrales. Ted Bankston takes his place. And as he warms up, we'll tell you about DNK Lanes in Plainview. New owners, hot food, cold drinks, great fun on Main Street in Plainview. We'll take a short break. When we return, more baseball on News Channel Nebraska.
At Farmers Pride, we offer multiple grain marketing options for you to maximize your profit. Our producer delivery grain program offers the best possible prices at local and regional processors, direct from your farm. Farmers Pride provides simple to understand strategies to help manage your current and future risk. So before you load up the truck, give us a call and let's discuss the best options for your hard-earned crop. Locally owned in Northeast Nebraska, your dollars stay in your local economy. Farmers Pride, in the field, on your farm, in your community.
All-American Legion Baseball on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you by the Bank of Dixon County. Internet banking and individual service you can count on. Bank of Dixon County, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Hartington and Ponca, I'm Michael Shively, joined by Mike Johnson, and it's 3-1 Ponca. A couple of opportunities for Hartington defensively here in the bottom of the first inning, but a couple of misplays have led to a few runs, and still 2 runners in scoring position, nobody down, and already a new pitcher.
Yeah, the walks and the hit by pitch has just really hurt Sam there in the top of the first.
No ball has left the infield yet for Ponca. Bubba Cabrales wants to change that with runners at second and third. Swings and misses. Good outside movements on the pitch from Ted Bankston.
That was a nice curveball he just threw.
Feilmeyer moves to second base, so just a straight change there for Hartington. Cabrales batting in the 6th spot. All right-handers so far, and he's punched out. Took some off of that, and Cabrales wasn't looking for it. A backwards K for out number 1 in the bottom of the first.
That was another curveball. He started that a little bit off the plate, and it broke across the plate on the inside corner. It was a really good pitch.
And that's exactly what Ponca wanted to dial up, or rather, that's what Hartington wanted to dial up in that pitching change. Good stop by the catcher, Steffen.
Now, if you're Hartington, you're hoping for another strikeout or a pop-up on the infield to keep that runner on third, and then try your luck with the number 8 hitter.
Well, instead, the magnet seems to be stuck to the back of the Ponca jersey. 3rd hit by pitch of the inning.
Up the first baseman, number 77, Cole Richards.
Yeah, you don't see that happen very often.
Time called. That will be a courtesy runner coming on for Logue. Logue, the pitcher, was just hit by a pitch. And Legion, you can make that substitution at will. Inferno will run for him. Cole Richards, first baseman, will bat from the right-handed side. Bases loaded again. This time 1 down. Hartington thinking 2 here.
Yeah, infielders are at double play depth up the middle. Corners are in.
Popped up high to the left side. The third baseman, Korth, giving chase, and he's able to make the catch right next to the fence. A big out number 2 on excellent hustle by the third baseman.
That was a heck of a play. Did a good job of locating the fence and made a nice play there.
Richards retired, and it brings up Phillips. Tip of the cap definitely needed from Bankston. Over to his third baseman, Korth. Sacrifice fly no longer in play. Back to the net off of the stick of Phillips. Phillips, the 9-hole hitter. If Bankston can retire him, he would have done exactly as good as he could.
Yeah, that's best case scenario right there.
Instead, it's a seeing eye grounder that makes its way into left field. Then it's booted by Lammers, and 2 runs come home. The throws to third base, but nobody was on third base, and another run touches home. The base is empty, on the single by Phillips, and Ponca blows it open in the bottom of the first inning, 6-1.
That was a single and 2 errors on that play.
That'll bring up the second baseman, number 8, Brandon.
So give Phillips 1 RBI, but after that, it was errors, both of them attributed to Lammers in left. Couldn't field the hard grounder rolling out to him, and then the mistake on the throw to third base. Maybe I'm just going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt, Mike. The jerseys are both blue, and there was a coach there. That's as far as I can go.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I'm trying to figure out where the third baseman was in that situation, because I played third base, and that ball's hit in the outfield. You better get back to your base and cover it. So
you know what he's thinking on the throw to third base there, but nobody manning it, allowed one more run to tap. A big hit by the 9-hole hitter, compounded by defensive mistakes, and Hartington will have to play from behind for a second straight night.
And Kneiffel's already 1 for 1 in this inning with a single up the middle.
That's what started this inning. The breaker doesn't quite find the zone, and it's 3-1. He came around to score when Anderson was plucked. Takes upstairs and another walk. First issued by Bankston, second by Hartington.
That'll bring out the right fielder, number 24.
Now Carson Fox gets another turn. He's one of the 3 that's been hit by pitches this inning.
Yeah, he was hit by pitch in the first inning. It still is the first inning. But I don't know, it might have been the first or second pitch of that at-bat that he got hit.
Moved to first base, and he's in.
Will not be surprised at all if Kneiffel takes off on first movement here.
That throw to first is risky with that runner at third base. He does take off. Swing and a miss, and just a throw back to the pitcher. Floater high.
Yeah, Ted's thrown quite a few curveballs since he came in to pitch.
Rocking the stirrups. Can dig that look. Fakes his toss to third.
Yeah, he's going with the old school look.
1 ball, 1 strike. Just off the plate. This is batter number 11 in the bottom of the first. Hartington did strike first after Steffen singled up the middle, stole the base, and came home on a fielder's choice. Foul ball, and it's 2-2.
That might have been ball 3 if he wouldn't have swung at it.
Just 2 hits this inning en route to the 6 runs. The curveball didn't find its way over the plate that time in a full count. It's been hit by pitches, a couple of walks, errors, hits by Kneifel and Phillips. And now the payoff pitch. Fought it off, heading towards the stands, right next to the net. The catch made and the out recorded. Steffen goes slamming into the netting, but able to hold on to the ball and get Hartington out of the bottom of the first, but not before an explosion of 6 runs on 2 hits, 3 errors, and a couple left on base. Tip the cap to the catcher there. Some fine defensive plays mixed in with the errors for Hartington. Can the Hartington bats try to chip away at the deficit in the top of the second? We'll find out next on NCN.
Need high-speed internet? Want the best in TV programming? There's no need to make countless calls to 1-800 numbers to get the services you want. Get both TV and internet with just 1 call to me, Wes, at Satellite Central. Everyone's needs are different, and we can help you find the best option for high-speed internet. And we've been providing TV programming from Dish and DirecTV for over 20 years. We have a local team of installers that you know and can trust. So make one call to us at Satellite Central.
If you're looking for news about your life, your work, and your community, try News Channel Nebraska. It's news for Nebraskans 24 hours a day. If you want Nebraska news, high school and college sports, and Nebraska weather every 10 minutes, trust News Channel Nebraska.
This is home.
Well, welcome back here to Hartington. A few fans in the stands today, smiles on their faces. Your Smile Cam is brought to you by Family First Dental, where your family comes first and it shows in everything they do. Check them out at familyfirstdental.com. Michael Shively joined by Mike Johnson, top of the second inning. 6-1 the score on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard. And those 6 runs coming on just 2 hits. The errors piled up in that bottom of the first. Combine that with a few hit batsmen, and that was the recipe for Ponca's success.
Yeah, from free passes, a couple of errors, and led to disaster in the first inning. But if you're a Hartington fan or a player, they were behind 6-2 or 8-2 last night at one point and came back and won. So a lot of baseball to be played yet.
Turner Korth is in the batter's box. Michael Logue still on the hill for Ponca. Gave up 1 hit in the first inning. Stefan did come around to plate after a fielder's choice. It was really a nice snare by Logue on the mound and threw to first base before completely looking Stefan back to third.
Yeah, he did make a very nice play there. If he would have held on, looked at him just a little bit longer, I don't think the run would have scored.
Now he comes with a heat and able to fan Korth. That's strikeout number 2 on Logue's ledger.
So far, he's throwing the ball really well tonight.
Looks to continue that against Riley Arns, who's swinging from the left side. First batter we've seen do that so far tonight. Watches one down the middle.
It's not a bad take there. It looked like a curveball, and just let that one go and see if he can sit on the fastball.
Thought about it there. It was just off the plate. Some shadows in the outfield. Otherwise, bright sunshine heading towards the batter's box. Hard hit, one hopper to shortstop. A long throw, but a good throw by Anderson, showing off that quarterback gun from deep at the shortstop hole to get out number 2.
Yeah, Evan Anderson's a really good player. He did a great job of getting himself in position to make the play, and then he made a heck of a throw. He's got a great arm. I know that from coaching against him in football. He's a heck of an athlete and a really nice kid.
Well, certainly if you watch much in Northeast Nebraska sports on News Channel Nebraska, you've seen Anderson. Ground ball hit towards third. Trying to duplicate it is Phillips, and he does. And a quick inning. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the second. On the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, it remains 6-1 Ponca. Their bats back up next.
After 1.5 innings of play, score is Ponca.
At Cornhusker Nissan, bragging is not our style, but that doesn't mean our customers can't.
Everyone was friendly, no high pressure, was open to my needs as to what was really best for me.
Professional, kind, polite, altogether perfect.
Great customer care before and after the sale.
Great price and awesome car buying experience. Wish all dealerships treated customers like Cornhusker Nissan in Norfolk, Nebraska.
Let us make your visit a memorable one at Cornhusker Nissan.
I'm Angie Smutney. I'm a family nurse practitioner at Faith Regional Physician Services Family Medicine in Norfolk. It's becoming more and more important to focus on preventative medicine, and that's why primary care, which is what we do in family medicine, is so important, because we want to try to prevent things like a heart attack and a stroke and diabetes and things like that through testing, whether it be lab results or just checking your blood pressure once a year. to make sure that we don't need to do more for you to help prevent certain things from happening. I know what it's like to be a busy mom and a busy working mom. I'm always willing to work with people, especially in the rural agricultural community with farmers. I know that they're not going to want to be seen in April and September and October when their schedules are the busiest, and I'm always willing to work with that and move things around so that they're getting seen in a timely manner when it works for them and also when we need to see them to keep them healthy.
Welcome back on News Channel Nebraska. Bottom of the second inning, McGill, Anderson, and Volker to do up for Ponca. They lead 6-1. Could have been worse if not for this fantastic catch by Stefan, hustling and then slamming right into that netting. I don't know if it's been pushed back that far in a while, and able to haul that one in.
That was a heck of a play, and he's probably really glad it isn't still a chain link fence there because it would have hurt.
Yeah, the netting is a little bit more giving.
Netting is a lot softer.
$1.
Well, still on the mound is Bankston. He took over partway through that bottom of the first for Foulmeyer, who failed to record an out. Slammed up the middle. There's a single for McGill. Hit number 3 on the day for Ponca. And just like the first inning, it begins with a single. All of the singles up the middle so far.
Yeah, that was a nice at-bat by Gage and just took it right back up the middle. And again, this is another player for Ponca that's got really good speed. So I don't know. He might not be at first very long.
We've seen one pickoff move from Bankston so far. It's a big lead over there, and another pickoff. It was a nice attempt. He was leaning some, but able to dive back was McGill.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take about another half-step lead because he got back in plenty of time there.
Saw a repeat. McGill takes off, swing and a miss. The throw to second, not in time, and as predicted, McGill swipes his way to scoring position.
Yeah, he's got really great speed, and couple that with a curveball being thrown there, it was pretty easy steal for him.
I think he might have taken the gamble that, all right, 2 straight pickoffs, he's not going to do a third.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way he was coming back a third time, I don't think.
Ball gets away slightly. McGill holds up. A 1-1 count to Anderson.
You know, Ponca does a great job on the bases. They're reading the balls in the dirt real well and taking the extra base when they can, and then if they don't think they can make it, they stay home.
Anderson was hit by a pitch last inning. Can't make contact there. And that, taking that pitch onto his back last inning did yield a run. The bases were loaded. That was 1 of 3 batters hit by a pitch.
Better.
Off the end of the bat, a shallow fly ball. Arns diving, and it hits the grass first. So a single from Anderson. Just sticking the bat out, got the tip of it, and able to bloop one into right.
Yeah, it looked like it was right off the end of the bat and just found a hole. In fact, it was a wood bat, he might have broke it.
So consecutive singles for Ponca. Now Volkers. As Anderson takes off, and there's another hit batter. Now in Major League Baseball, there's so much contention over the hit batsman, and that is not the case here in Legion. You can tell by the pitcher's reaction, none of this is purposeful. I only bring this up because it's such a focus in Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, in Major League Baseball, they'd be given warnings or something.
Right.
And honestly, if they hadn't the next inning, one of the Hartington kids would be getting plunked. But I don't think we'll see that tonight.
This was not intentional to load the bases.
No.
Cabrales watches the first one. Didn't seem to have any intention of swinging. Cabrales, a strikeout victim in the first inning. That was the first batter that Bankston faced. So he's now faced the whole lineup one time through.
And he went down looking in the first inning.
Well, the off-speed pitch high. Another big opportunity for Ponca. Already well in front by 5. Reno, nowhere to put him. That means a trip to the mound.
Yeah, the pitching coach, Aaron Steffen's coming out again.
While he visits, we'll tell you about Security Bank. My kind of bank with locations in Laurel, Osmond, Hartington, Allen, and Coleridge. Check out mysecbank.com, member FDIC. So similar situation again today as yesterday for Hartington. Is there a point when it turned yesterday when you could tell the momentum shifted?
Well, yesterday, they were down 8-2, and they got some base runners on, and everything just started clicking. So, the big key is going to be getting some people on base in the next inning or two, and hopefully they can start getting some things going.
First step is getting it over the plate. Here's the 3-0 delivery, and a strike called. Cabrales didn't think so. He'll have to face another.
Looked like a pretty good pitch from up here.
McGill singled to start the frame. Anderson blooped one through, then Volkert hit by a pitch. This one's skied on the right side. It will stay playable. The first baseman comes up, and Wiebelhaus snags it. Out number 1. Conversation with the coach could have calmed down Bankston some.
Yeah, it might have, and that was best case scenario right there. Get a pop up on the infield, get out number 1. Now you got a couple different options here in the infield. You can try to turn 2 here, or just try to get the out at home.
Really trying to get that curveball working. Lately, the trend, it's been kept upstairs some.
Yeah, he's leaving them up a little bit, and hopefully the Ponca, he's hoping that the Ponca kids can't square one up when it's up, because if they do, it's going to go a ways.
Yeah, these aren't quite hanging curves in that they aren't hanging over the plate. They're above where you typically would swing for it, but he's going to try to lower it, and if he gets it right over the heart, you could watch out.
Right.
Logue takes a big hack. Can't get a piece of it. 1-2.
That one broke down really well for him. A couple before that just been kind of staying up about shoulder high. That one started shoulder high and came across the plate about knee high.
Ground ball towards third, hugging the line. Only plays to first, and it's not quite in time. An infield single run batted in for Logue, and it's 7-1. McGill came home to score. Anderson up to third, and Volkert to second.
Yeah, the little bobble hurt the third baseman there. Makes it, if he can field it clean, he's got to play at the plate.
It was a close play at first. Bang, bang. It was also that ground ball was also hugging the third base line. It's one of those where you need to make a decision quick, because if you let it roll, you have no chance at an out.
Right, and then it almost looked like it might have taken a little bit of a bad hop, too, as it got to the third baseman.
Here's the play at first, and umpire looks to have made the correct call there.
Yeah, it looks like he beat it by a step.
Hit towards the gap in left center. It's down. Anderson in to score. Heading around is Volkert. He'll tap home as well. And a 2 RBI double for Cole Richards. Ponca pouring it on in the second. That might be the best hit ball we've seen. Smacked that right between center and left.
That was a well hit ball.
Well, we've seen 6 batters come to the plate. This is the 7th here in the second inning. Just 1 out. It was the Cabrales pop out. And another swing and another flare. This one also finds its way down. One more run in. Runner moves up from second to third. 3 straight hits. This one an RBI single for Phillips, his second of the game. The 9-hole has been productive, and the 3rd time through the order starts now for Ponca.
And all these Ponca players now have seen Ted pitch in the 1st inning as well. So
a second, almost 3rd trip through against him. Wiebelhaus secures out number 2. He's been responsible for catching both of the outs.
Yeah, both outs have been pop-ups to the first baseman. One was in foul territory, and then this one was in fair territory.
Carson Fox.
Kneifel retired. Fox comes up. He's 0 for 1 with a run scored. Was hit by a pitch in the 1st. Popped out to the catcher. That was the nice play by Steffen to end the 1st. Swings at this one. Gets past the diving third baseman to the shortstop. The throw not in time to first. Runner moves up to third. Ball scoots loose, but he stays put. After tossing across the diamond a couple times, 1 run comes in on another hit. An RBI for Fox.
Fox showed really good speed getting down the line there. It was a tough play for the shortstop in the hole, but he made a nice throw, and it really wasn't close. You know, he's the shortstop for Hartington. Dane Whitmire's got a really good arm.
He did fire that thing over there.
Yes, he did.
Breaking ball away. Up to second moves Fox. And Ponca has batted around in each of their 2 innings. McGill at the dish. He started this frame with a single, stole a base, and eventually able to score on the Logue RBI. (10-1) on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard. 6 of those runs in the 1st, 4 here in the 2nd. Searching for out number 3 desperately is Bankston.
He's struggling again, trying to find his command with that curveball.
Low pitch. Works his way to first.
McGill draws the walk.
And now Anderson.
That'll bring up the shortstop, number 27.
And Evan had that
Anderson.
bloop single earlier in this inning to right field.
There's so many what-ifs in baseball, and you think maybe, if Arntzen had a half step earlier, he could have got to it, or if that ball if there would have been an ounce of wind in the ballpark, he could have blown it out further towards him, and then maybe some of those later runs wouldn't have scored. But well, the ball found the grass in right field, and Anderson eventually came home. Now he's back up.
Yeah, it was a blooper, but tomorrow in the box score looked like a screaming line drive into right field. So,
if the TV wasn't here, then he could have told people that too.
And knowing Evan, he probably will anyway. I know him a little bit. He's a nice kid.
Inside pitch, and he's ahead in the count.
It also seems like he's been playing sports at Ponca for like 10 years. So, but he's a really nice young man.
It's a hard grounder towards short. Nice stop and good toss to second for the Fours. The shortstop Whitmire getting the jersey dirty and getting out number 3. But Ponca able to push 5 runs across to make it 11-1 on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard.
Wind energy means opportunity. Did you know that a local wind energy project would usher in millions of new tax dollars to the county and school taxing districts, and increased funds allow schools to invest in quality education programs, technology, facility development, and even renovations? Funds can be used as needed to improve our schools and the learning environment for our children. To learn more about how wind energy is good for Northeast Nebraska schools, email haystack@tradewindenergy.com. Sponsored by Tradewind Energy.
6 hits. I don't even have any idea on errors. 2 left on this. Yeah. Welcome back on News Channel Nebraska. 5 more runs across for Ponca in the bottom of the second. An 11-1, a 10-run advantage. Michael Logue looking quite comfortable up there on the mound with a bit of a cushion now. Well, check out Moody Motor at moodymotor.com. Nebraska strong in Niobrara. Stop in today. Top of the third inning here. Bankston, Arns, and Steffen due up. And if Hartington isn't looking ahead to game 2 yet, it's time to chip away.
Yeah, they need to get some runs here. I know it's still early. It's only the top of the third, but they need to get some runs this inning.
First pitch swinging, fielded by the third baseman, and Phillips able to get it over to first in time.
Third baseman throw to first for out number 1.
And a single for Steffen to start the game for Hartington. Since then, every batter has been retired, 7 straight sent down by Logue.
Yeah, Logue's really settled in after Brady got on base to start the first inning. He got that single, stole second, stole third, and then scored on a fielder's choice.
Starts off Arns with a ball. While everybody for Ponca has come to the plate twice, and half of them have come to the plate 3 times, still the first trip through the order for Hartington. Roller hit towards shortstop. Anderson able to gun it over to first again. The last 4 outs have all been grounders to shortstop or third base.
Yeah, Logue's doing a good job of keeping the ball down. It's getting ground balls, and the Ponca infielders are doing a great job of fielding them. We've seen some good defense in this game. I mean,
we have. A few errors in the first inning, but they've been matched by plays that are equally as good as those that were bad. Steffen reaches for the second time. Hit by pitch this time around. But we were talking off air, Mike. Hartington, to end the last 2 innings, has had phenomenal defensive plays.
Oh yeah, just phenomenal plays. You know, a diving play by the shortstop. You had that pop foul by the catcher, Brady Steffen, going into the netting, and then Turner Korth had one too. I think it was in the first inning over there by the fence on a foul ball. So there's been some really good defensive plays, but there's also been a few errors.
Steffen with another stolen base. In scoring position if Lammers could hit him home. Swings at it, foul tipped. Lammers a strikeout in the first inning.
Yeah, 1-0 count. Chase got to be a little more selective, I think, on that pitch. He swung at a pitcher's pitch there. Look for something more in your own zone.
That one winds up low and away. The clouds have obscured the sun a little bit here. Felber Park, gorgeous park in Hartington. Runner moves towards third. The pitch high, throw to third. Not in time to get him. A couple stolen bases this trip to the paths for Steffen.
He's been on base twice. He's got 4 stolen bases. He's stealing bases like Ricky Henderson used to.
That one's in the zone and a full count. 2 down, runner at third for Lammers. Another play for Anderson, who backhands and delivers casually in time for out number 3. And the left side of the infield holds strong for Ponca. They retire the side, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Bottom of the third next. The score on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard, Ponca 11, Hartington 1.
This is Nebraska. 430 miles west to east. 77,000 square miles. To cover it all, News Channel Nebraska. One 24/7 news channel covering all 93 counties. For Nebraska news, weather, and sports, turn to NCN all day, every day. News Channel Nebraska.
This is home.
Welcome back to Hartington. Ponca in front big here as we move towards the bottom of the third on News Channel Nebraska. Baseball on NCN, brought to you in part by D&K Lanes in Plainview. Welcome Randy D., the new owner of D&K Lanes, Plainview. Lunch on Mondays and Wednesdays, dinner Monday through Saturday. New owners there at the bowling alley in Plainview. Still on the mound is Foulmeyer. He's had a little difficulty with his location, but after the hit by pitch and the walk was the problem in the first, Ponca was able to get bat on ball some in the second to the tune of 6 hits, including a double by Cole Richards.
Yeah, they did a good job in that second time through, seeing Ted, and got the ball squared up and got some solid hits there in the bottom of the second.
Hunter Volkert, Bubba Cabrales, and Michael Logue are the 3 due up here in the bottom half of the third inning.
You know, as the pitch counts continue to mount up for Hartington here, it's important that they get through this inning quickly, I believe.
And in a tournament schedule like this, it's important when you have depth in your pitching staff because you are throwing so many guys over a short period of time. And as it's lined up right now, you're thinking it's likely there will be a second game tonight. You're going to need some more pitchers available then.
Yeah, it's looking like there'll be a second game, and they're going to need more pitchers, and 2 of them won't be available that threw last night. So
it's likely we'll see Foulmeyer as long as he can go.
Yeah, we'll see Ted for a while. I wouldn't be surprised.
Or pardon me, Bankston, yes.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sam throw some more in the next game if there is a next game and stuff. So, and I know they've got at least one more that can throw. Turner Korth can throw, so they're going to have to reach back and get into their depth here.
Well, Bankston able to get a swing and a miss that time to Volkert. Reached on a fielder's choice and a hit by pitch. Takes low. Wearing the American flag arm sleeve on the right arm. Belts it towards left, but it's hooking and winds up foul out of play.
Foul ball.
Really got the barrel through.
Yeah, he had a nice swing on that one. It might have been just a little bit off the plate to the inside, which is why he fouled it off like that. But he got it squared up pretty good.
Ponca's had the hardest hit balls so far. That might be the hardest, but it didn't yield anything for Volkert, who will face another 2-2. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout for Bankston. That's his second strikeout so far. His first one came against Cabrales in his first batter faced. Cabrales steps back in here with 1 down in the bottom of the third.
And that's the first time Hartington's got the leadoff batter out to start an inning, so they should be pretty happy right now. I think they've got a better start to an inning.
Popped up. Playable in the infield. It's the second baseman. A couple steps onto the grass, making the play Foulmeyer. Now Logue enters. Foreign territory right now for Hartington. 2 down, bases empty. They like how that sounds. They'll try to get rid of Ponca's pitcher.
And the most important thing is Ted's only thrown like 5 pitches this inning, 5 or 6. So that's huge when you got the pitch count.
Another pop-up. Once again in the infield. Third baseman takes it. Korth makes the play. As fast as they come. Strikeout, fly out, fly out. 3 innings in the books on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard. 11-1 Ponca. The 4th is next.
Need high-speed internet? Want the best in TV programming? There's no need to make countless calls to 1-800 numbers to get the services you want. Get both TV and internet with just one call to me, Wes, at Satellite Central. Everyone's needs are different, and we can help you find the best option for high-speed internet. And we've been providing TV programming from Dish and DirecTV for over 20 years. We have a local team of installers that you know and can trust. So make one call to us at Satellite Central.
We're back here on News Channel Nebraska, top of the fourth inning. Weeblehouse, Whitmire, and Korth due up for Hartington. This game is brought to you in part by Midwest Bank, where they're doing the little things to make a big difference in your community. Log on to MidwestBank.com today. Also sponsoring this evening's game, and possibly games, is Moody Motor. Check out Moody Motor at moodymotor.com. Nebraska strong in Niobrara. Stop in today. Well, we've seen the offenses slow down some. That was the trend in the third inning. No hits on either side. Hartington still with just one hit on the game, the first batter that came to the plates. Can the middle of the lineup change that against DeLogue here in the fourth? We'll find out. It's the 3 through 5 hitters.
Well, and if Hartington's going to have a chance to come back in this game, they drastically need to get something done this inning.
If Hartington does come back somewhat miraculously and get the win, they would punch their ticket to the state tournament. Head down to Southeast Nebraska to face the other Class C Legion teams. If Ponca wins, we have a nightcap. Hard grounder towards second. Nice backhand. A good throw to first by Kneifel. And that retires Weeblehouse.
So far through 3 1/3 innings, I'm pretty impressed with Ponca's infield defense. They're picking everything and making solid throws over to first base, and they're doing a great job for their pitcher behind him.
And they've been mostly the left side of the infield. In fact, the last 5 outs had been recorded on the left side. I'll make that if Anderson makes the throw here, which he does. Almost automatic, it seems. It's now 6 of the last 7 outs have come on ground balls to the left side of the infield.
Yeah, I think he's getting them with some off-speed stuff down and away, and the Hartington batters are rolling over it. They need to start trying to pop it into right center field or go the opposite way with it, and might be able to get some base hits.
A big hole in right center field if they're able to get it that direction. Breaking pitch way outside. Turner Korth up now, struck out to start the second.
Yeah, the center fielder shaded towards left center, and the right fielder shaded towards the right field line, so there's a huge gap and a lot of room to run.
See if Korth can poke it that direction. Takes the outer edge strike.
And last night, Turner hit a couple balls hard towards the right side, so he's one on this team that is very capable of driving one into that right center field gap.
And don't think that this Hartington team can't hit. They reached double-digit runs last night, and again, the team that did not lose in this tournament, heading towards the championship night. High and away now, 2-2.
So far, this you watching this game, you can tell that it's not necessarily getting the hits, but it's which pitcher's getting the ball across the plate and not walking people.
Anderson gets another try. He's getting batting practice hit towards him. This is just infield practice for Anderson. He's been automatic at shortstop, and another 1-2-3 inning, the second of the game managed by Logue, and we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. That's next on NCN.
Considering a suspension lift kit or leveling kit for your truck or Jeep? T.O. Haas Tire can help you rise above whatever lies across your path with lift kits by BDS and Zone, backed by the best warranties in the business. Our hardcore 4x4 division carries and installs lifts, lockers, winches, springs, shocks, everything you need to make your 4x4 stand out in a crowd. So go ahead and attack those trails and rivers with the help of T.O. Haas Tire.
T.O. Haas, trust.
We're back here in Hartington. One of the sponsors this evening, Security Bank. My kind of bank, with locations in Laurel, Osmond, Hartington, Allen, and Coleridge. Check out mysecbank.com, member FDIC. Score on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard is 11-1. Ponca in front and coming back to the plate in the bottom of the fourth inning. But Ted Bankston was able to get into a bit of a groove last inning, sending down Ponca 1-2-3. Batters due up here for Ponca: Richards, Phillips, and Kneifel.
And Ponca sending up a pinch hitter, number 4,
Briar Bennett.
Briar Bennett hitting.
So Bennett instead of Richards. Richards was 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI double. First pitch, a strike. Bennett going without the batting gloves and swinging from the left side, gives a different look at it. Takes a pitch, a ball and a strike. Offers at that one and can't connect.
It's a nice off-speed pitch there.
Connects with that one and hits it towards right field. It falls in front of Arns. And a pinch hit single for Briar Bennett. Gets the first man aboard, and that's 3 out of 4 innings that Ponca has put the first batter on base.
Yeah, they just continue to get on base to start the inning, and
That'll bring up the third baseman.
Pulled that one into right.
And when they get on base, as the leadoff guy gets on base, it seems like they've been scoring. So
they've been moving up as well, and that's in the mind of Bankston, who checks on the runner.
yeah, they've stolen quite a few bases.
Phillips up now. He's been productive in the 9 spot. 2 singles, 2 driven in.
He's been very productive out of the 9 hole today.
Looks like he almost swung down at that last pitch. Didn't make contact. Another check of Bennett.
Yeah, that's one of the negatives about this ballpark, the way it sits. When you're hitting and get to a certain point in time of the night, it is hard to pick up the pitch.
Sun setting in left field right now. Didn't stop the batter Phillips that time. Able to launch it towards left. Lammers didn't really charge it out there and allowed it to play on 1 hop, so consecutive singles into the outfield to start the 4th by the 8 and 9 hitters. Now Kneifel back up.
And he's been very productive too. He's 2 for 3 with a couple singles.
Watches 1 low and away.
I don't know if the left fielder didn't pick that ball up right away or not, but didn't really move until it was almost 5 feet away from him.
That's what I was thinking too. Maybe he didn't see it off of the bat. Looked like he was playing it like an infielder.
Yeah. You know, and he is sitting in the shadows out there from the trees, so, you know, maybe he just didn't quite pick it up real well.
First 2 pitches, balls. That one's high. After giving up 2 straight singles, you worry about Bankston's confidence then, because the walk has been a factor in the game so far. So has the hit by pitch. Needs to keep it over the zone. And refines his command for that pitch.
Yeah, walks have been the story of the game for Hartington. Having a hard time finding the strike zone, walked too many people, hit a few batters, and that's what's really hurt them.
And right on cue.
Yeah.
Bases loaded with nobody down, and I'll check my score sheet here, but yes, every inning in which Ponca has had a base runner, they've had the bases loaded with no outs.
Yeah, and usually one or two hit by pitch in there as well.
That's been responsible for some of the runs, and this time responsible to load them up for Carson Fox. Bankston comes home. We do have another pinch hitter now on for Ponca, Grant Dorsey. Reaches for one, loops it right towards shortstop, catch made. They try to double him up at third, no such luck. A line out for Grant Dorsey.
That is shortstop for out number 1.
First out of the bottom of the fourth brings up Gage McGill.
That'll bring up number 12, Gage
McGill, single and a walk, scored 2 runs. Offers.
Foul ball, $1, compliments of Hartington.
Already a 10-run lead on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard for Ponca, threatening to add to an already double-digit advantage.
And right in the heart of Ponca's order, too. McGill and Anderson to follow. And
difficult stretch for Bankston.
Very difficult, because both of these guys are very good hitters.
Check of the runner at third. Trying to get some rhythm back is Bankston. Inside pitch, it's 2-1. Bennett at third, Phillips at second, Kneifel at first. Ground ball back to the pitcher, a chance for a couple. Out at home and over to first in time. Bases loaded, nobody out, but no runs come home to score thanks to the heads-up play. The double play goes 1-2 to 3. And the bottom of the fourth is complete, the score remaining 11-1. Before we send you to break, we'll tell you about McCardle's in Ponca. Meet your friends at McCardle's to watch your favorite games and for Irish hospitality. Proud supporters of area athletics and academics. More baseball next.
At Shop Easy, we like to make all ages smile. From farmers to truckers to Shop Easy future customers. We make sure we have a large selection of food, snacks, beverages, and incidentals to make your break in your day convenient and courteous. With easy parking 24/7. We can accommodate the night shift, the early morning workers, fishermen, and travelers. Shop Easy, south of Yankton, is owned and operated by the Santee Sioux Nation.
Baseball on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you by Bank of Dixon County. Internet banking and individual service you can count on. Bank of Dixon County, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And the bottom of the fourth looked like another big frame developing for Ponca, who scored 6 in the first and 5 in the second. Had the bases loaded, nobody down in the fourth, but line out and double play, and threat eliminated.
Yeah, and for like the third straight inning, we've seen great defense to end the inning. You know, you had a couple foul balls, a diving play by the shortstop, and then a 1-2-3 double play. So, you know, bases loaded, no outs, and get out of there without giving up a run. That's Ted Banks did a heck of a job to get out of that inning.
He started that double turn in the bottom of the fourth. The runs, though, and even the base runners have eluded Hartington through 4 innings. It's been a gem thrown by Michael Logue, who's still out there. Arns, Foulmeyer, and Bankston due up here in the 5th. No hit since the first batter of the game. Only one base runner. It was Steffen, hit by a pitch in the 3rd.
Yeah, and Steffen's the only one that's been on base for Hartington against Logue. So Logue's thrown a really nice ball game tonight.
Soft roller to shortstop. Anderson, you're going to need to ice that arm before game number 2. Another put out by the shortstop. That's put out number 6.
Sam Ballmeyer.
Impressive
for
Anderson.
He looks so smooth out there with every play. He just reads the grounder ball coming at him, gets himself in position, and he's got a cannon to get the ball over to first base. But he's making everything look real easy out there for a shortstop.
7 of the last 9 outs have been grounders to the shortstop where Anderson's delivered it to first. This one hugs the line, fair down third base. Thinking extra bases is Foulmeyer. Oh, he holds up at first, but there's the second hit of the game for Hartington. Puts one aboard for Bankston.
There's another ground ball, but that one was hit the right spot where nobody was at and got down the line for a hit.
Now you're right. Again, it was just another ground ball. Logue, phenomenal job keeping the ball down, but good job turning on it early by Foulmeyer. Able to keep it near the foul line and get a single out of it.
Yeah, it's a good bit of hitting by Sam.
Now Bankston. Takes inside. Well, Hartington had the comeback yesterday, down 6 runs. 10 runs is a little different. Trying to take bases as they can. That's what Foulmeyer does. Nice back tag still by Anderson.
Yeah, I think it was probably a little closer from what it looked like from up here, to be honest with you. He got the tag down quick.
Reminiscent of Javi Baez, how he goes for that back tag.
Yes.
Floater heading towards second. It's over his head into the outfield. Up towards third goes the Hartington runner Foulmeyer, and back-to-back hits all of a sudden for Hartington, and they threaten with runners at the corners for Austin Arns.
And only one out. They desperately need some runs this inning.
Courtesy runner for Bankston, number 28, Owen Hymas.
And a courtesy runner comes in. It's Hymas who will run for Bankston. Arns a ground out to shortstop. Back in the third. Just his second time up. Well, bluff throw actually went back to the pitcher instead of second, and then over to third. Foulmeyer wasn't fooled by it.
Yeah, they're trying to catch Sam Foulmeyer over there napping. But he was paying attention. Good job by him.
Swing and a miss. Logue, after giving up 2 straight hits, gets ahead 0-2. Looking to send down the 9-man before Steffen comes up. And there it is. The curveball breaks down beautifully into the zone and catches Arns looking.
That's the third strikeout for Logue. First 2 have been swinging and that one looking. He's been doing his damage getting ground balls.
Steffen, one of the small number of Hartington batters to have success, singled and scored in the first, hit by a pitch and stole 2 bases in the third. Connects with another fly ball left field, but coming in and making the play is Volkert, and that retires the side. Nice job by Logue to get out without any damage. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. Bottom of the 5th is next. 10-run lead on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard for Ponca.
That's going to end the game, actually, since
and
it's 11-1 going into the bottom of the 5th after 5 innings. So,
good call there, Mike. Yes, in Legion rules, there is a run rule, and it is a 10-run lead. for Ponca. So they secure the victory in game number 1, which means we have one more tonight to decide who's heading to the state tournament. You won't want to miss that. We'll wrap up this game and set you up for game 2 when we return on News Channel Nebraska.
Nebraska is prime country for farming corn, beans, and now wind energy. For landowners interested in hosting a wind turbine, this doesn't mean giving up a lot of land. A wind turbine and its access drive will only occupy about 1/2 of an acre, leaving the rest of the land usable for world-class northeast Nebraska farming. That half-acre used to harvest the wind will also help educate school children and improve area roads with additional tax revenue. To learn more, email haystack@tradewindenergy.com. Sponsored by Tradewind Energy.
My name is Sarah Anderson. I'm a nurse practitioner with Faith Regional Physician Services, Tilden Family Medicine. When patients or their family come to see me at Tilden Family Medicine, I work very hard to keep our relationship a partnership. I feel that it is my job as their healthcare provider to provide appropriate health recommendations, but together we work to ultimately decide the best plan of care for that specific patient. I would really like all of my patients to remember that even though they may be from a smaller community, just remember that they're never alone. Here at Faith Regional, you are always part of a much larger team. We are very blessed to have a large array of specialists, and you will always find fantastic care when you come to see us at Faith Regional.
With the challenges our nation faces as the consumption of gasoline increases, the strategic location of Husker Ag allows this ethanol plant to produce nearly 80 million gallons a year, which requires almost 30 bushels of corn a year. Access to rail distribution and centered in a productive growing area east of Plainview on Highway 20, Husker Ag creates jobs, has on-farm pickup of corn, and supports area schools and organizations. Husker Ag LLC, helping communities grow and proud to be part of Nebraska's production of ethanol.
Determination, hard work, patience, and persistence. These are characteristics that make a champion. These same characteristics make a great Nebraskan.
Midwest Bank proudly supports and congratulates the athletes that have accomplished the honor to compete in the state track meet.
We are also there for the Nebraskans that have fought the flood, cleaned up after the devastation, and answered the call when others were in need.
Communities coming together.
Athletes giving it all.
That is Nebraska strong.
You can always bank on Nebraskans.
Welcome back on News Channel Nebraska. Final in game number 1 is 11-1. 11-1 Ponca gets the W. That means we have more baseball on tap. Hartington and Ponca, game number 2 in championship night in the Area C1 title. The winner heads to Syracuse for the American Legion State Tournament. Old Baseball tonight brought to you by Keith's in Hartington. Wishing everyone a safe and fun summer. Check out their noon lunch specials at Keith's in Hartington. Well, here's some of the plays that made their way into the highlight reel. It was offense in the first 2 innings for Ponca and Hartington, and that's all the offense we saw. Here's how it went down. The first inning, it was a single by Brady Steffen, stole a couple bases, and with 1 down, Seth Wiebelhaus hit a comebacker to the pitcher. Logue looks to third, as you're supposed to do, then wheeled to first and got the out, but Steffen, being the aggressive runner he is, came home and tapped the plate before the throw by the first baseman got there, so that was the first run. Then in the bottom of the first, an explosion by Ponca to answer. Only 2 hits, but 3 errors, 3 hit batters, and 2 walks. Added up to 6 runs for Ponca. They led 6-1. Bottom of the second, more offense, but a different type for Ponca. This time it was the hits. 6 of them tallied 5 runs. There was a hit by pitch and a walk thrown in there, but man, that Ponca team found their bats in the second to lead 11-1. After that, they coasted on the strong shortstop arm of Evan Anderson, who had 7 putouts in a 5-inning game, some of them quite impressive from deep at shortstop. He was Mr. Automatic. In the bottom of the fourth inning, it looked like Ponca was going to score some more. Bases loaded, nobody down, but a line out and a double play got Hartington out of that jam. In the top of the fifth, Hartington's bats came alive. 2 singles, Foulmeyer and Bankston supplying them, but then Michael Logue got a strikeout and a flyout to retire the side. And that's how the game happened in game number 1. 11-1, the final score on the Faith Regional Health Services scoreboard. The winning pitcher, Michael Logue. The losing pitcher, Sam Foulmeyer. Complete game 5-inning effort by Michael Logue. Gave up just 3 hits. There was only 1 run. It was earned. And really impressive pitching. 3 strikeouts. Mostly it was the ground ball and strong defense behind him. If you were to pick a player of the game, it'd be tough to go anywhere besides Logue, but other contenders included Caden Phillips, 3 for 3 with 2 driven in. Evan Anderson, 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored and a run batted in, plus outstanding defense. Plenty to pick from on that Ponca team. So that was game number 1. We'll tell you a little bit about what we can expect in game number 2. That's coming your way soon. We're looking at a 7:35 first pitch time, so about 15 minutes away from action. Go get some popcorn in the microwave, maybe run Burger up to the broadcast booth, whatever you feel like you're doing, and then we'll have some more baseball. That's coming your way soon here on NCN.